Welcome back to Zoe trying to be a baker during quarantine season. So, again, we're baking another one of our favorites, banana muffins with chocolate chips, because it's not because that's the only thing I know how to bake. That is not it, but I just love it so much. So we're gonna start baking, and this is a very chill, so like we're not gonna be just baking. We're gonna be doing a lot of other stuff as well. I'm gonna be talking to you guys about what I've been doing recently. And if you see that my hair is very wet, it's because I just showered and we don't care. I ain't the girl that'd be like, I woke up like this. That's not me, okay? So I have a list, #organized. This is actually my mom's recipe, by the way. So plain flour. Okay, I'm gonna talk you guys through it. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys already know the recipe because I've done this before, but if you guys just wanna know, I'm gonna link it down in the description box below. So let's start with flour. So basically, I've been getting in touch with theatre quite recently. So I've been reading a lot of scripts. I've been doing a lot of things related to my passion, which is very nice. And I'm so excited that I'm finally very in touch with theatre right now, because before that I didn't have enough like motivation to do so, because it wasn't like it was really just I was very lost. But then now I'm finally like kind of in touch with theatre. And if you guys know, Hamilton is coming out Disney Plus July 3rd. Yes. Unfortunately, I do not have Disney Plus, and it's not gonna be available in Malaysia that soon, which is very sad. So to you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, basically Hamilton is one of the best musicals, and I watched a slime tutorial of it, and I'm not afraid to say it, and best moment of my life, honestly. Like, I really want to watch that thing live so badly when I go to the US. And yeah, and so Lin-Manuel Miranda was literally, he was on Twitter the other day, and they had censored out the F words, because there is 3 F words in the whole entire show. So he managed to censor that, and it is now PG-13, which is very nice. And I really love Lin. I've loved Lin-Manuel Miranda ever since Mary Poppins, because when that show came out and I feel like I've told this story a lot of times. So Mary Poppins Returns, when it came out in the cinemas, me and my dad went to watch it, and that day I was very sick for some reason, and I went to watch it, and after it came out from the theater, I was revived. I was healed. It was magical. So yeah, basically, if you're a theater kid and you want to heal, you want to be revived and you want to heal, just go to a theater and watch your favorite show. And I swear to God, that's the best thing ever. I've also been really interested in true crime recently. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I can literally recommend you guys some of the best podcasts I've literally been listening to. There is, okay, BuzzFeed Unsolved was my thing before this, which is very nice. You guys should check out Shane and Ryan. They are the best duo ever. They make everything so funny. I've been watching them for a very long time. And then there's also like a lot of nice true crime. And Stephanie Sue just released a true crime podcast, and I've been listening to that because she's very funny, and I can't be bored because she just makes everything so interesting, and I really love her. She's very nice. Yeah, so I've been in touch with a lot of stories recently, which I'm gonna tell you guys one of the stories that I thought was so intriguing. Yeah, right now. So let me just put my baking powder and my baking soda, and I'll be right back with you guys. So I'm gonna tell this story from a non-biased perspective as best as I can in a very short time, because I feel like these are gonna take very fast. So let's just get straight into the story. So it starts with this woman by the name of Diane Schuler, which I will link her picture here. And she basically, this is set in a very small town. I feel like most true crime happens in small towns. That's why they're so scary, because like we rarely hear like like crime cases that happen in big cities. So like it's always the small towns. But then again, it's crime. It could happen anywhere. And so Diane Schuler, she has a family of 3. So it's her. She has a husband named, I forgot what the husband names was, but I'll link it here. And she has 1 girl and 1 boy. And she is a very maternal lady. She's the breadwinner of the family because the husband's just there and he's not working or anything, which is very, very weird. Like, he wasn't even like a stay-at-home dad. He wasn't even like a you know, like one of those babysitting dads. No, he was just really lazy. And so Diane was literally the breadwinner of the family. She would do the cooking, she would do the house chores, she would do every single thing, including sending the kids to school, making lunches for the kids, every single thing. So the dad was just kind of just very lazy. And so Diane grew up with 3 brothers, and her mom left when she was very, very young. So they say that like when your parents leave, it's either you become the exact same incarnation of your mom or you be the opposite of your parents. So she obviously became the opposite because she felt like she had to do everything. She had to take on the household chores because from young she had to take care of her brothers. She had to help her dad out. She was feeling the responsibility. So when she had her own family, she had taken up, she was the breadwinner of the family, and her husband was not working, which was very, very weird. And so yeah, so Diane always had a dream of a very big family. She wanted a lot of kids, she wanted a big family, but they only had 2 kids. So the husband had a sister, Diane's sister-in-law, and basically she had like her nieces, and she was like, okay, maybe during this school holiday, why not let's just go all on like a camp trip with the kids, so like the kids can bond, right? And she would take care of all the kids. So the sister-in-law was like, yeah, sure, why not? Let me just send the kids over so the kids can have some special bonding with their cousins. And she wanted her kids very badly to be in a very close relationship to her cousins because obviously she didn't have a good childhood. And so everyone was on board with the idea. Everyone was super excited. It was in New York State. So it wasn't a small state, it was in New York State, I just remembered. And it was like a campground very close to the state. So the drive was about 35 minutes away. So they packed everything, the kids were here. The husband sister's family had 3 children. So two guys and a girl. And so they all hopped onto a minivan, and they even had like one of those big like minivans where you see people go when you go like camping. And so they had taken 2 cars to the campground. One was Diane and all the kids, and then the other one was the husband, because the husband's car had all the equipment, like all the campground stuff, all the tents, all the super heavy like equipment, and the other car had all the kids and Diane. So they had 2 cars that was going there. And so they were there for about 3 days, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they were there for 3 days. And so everything was looking out very nicely. The kids were having a lot of fun. Everyone was like in really good like high hopes like throughout the whole trip. Everything was fine. And so the last day of the trip, they had to pack up very early in the morning. They had to wake up the kids and they had to go back. And so even the camp, like everything was fine. Diane was fine. The husband was fine, the kids were fine. So even the campground assistant were helping them pack up. And when he was interviewed, because this had resulted into a car accident which involved around 8 people. Diane, the kids, and some of them had died like very, very... The scene of it was a car accident, but Diane and the kids had been brutally it was like a homicide. So they died because of the car accident. That was the result. And so back to the story. Diane was not weird at all. Like even the camp assistant was helping her, and when he was interviewed, he said that no, she was very, very calm and she was just normal. She was very normal. And so nothing happened. So when they were on the way back home, Diane wanted to bring the kids to McDonald's, so they stopped for an hour break. And so she was fine. She was she was still normal. Nothing big to happen. And she stopped by a petrol station. And so they had caught on CCTV that she actually was looking for some sort of thing, like she was looking for some sort of like medication. Apparently she had asked the patrol station assistant whether they had Tylenol, so like a very specific kind of tablet, but they said they didn't have it. So she was like, fine, you know, still calm. She didn't look very like tipsy or anything. She was very straight. She was fine. You could tell from the CCTV that her actions was like a normal person, so it wasn't anything too suspicious. And then what happened next was it was caught on one of those cameras, and even witnesses saw that Diane had left the van and was puking on the side of a highway. And so everyone would be like, okay, nothing's too special about someone puking, like it happens so often. If you have car sick like me, I generally have car sick, so I wouldn't be too like sus if someone suddenly starts puking like beside the highway, because that's quite normal, especially if very long car rides. And so then again, after I think about like a mile or two away, Dan had stopped at the rest stop and she started puking again, like puking. So then again, no one really paid attention because it was quite normal for people to, you know, like puke, and like it wouldn't even be like such a surprise because it is a highway and people go on road trips, so it was just like a casual thing. And so I think at one point someone did dial 911 because someone was really suspicious, because she was leaving all the kids on the van, and someone had seen that, but she was like along the roadside, and someone had called because they were worried. They were like, oh, yeah, like this woman, I'm sure it's nothing too big. They told the police that I'm sure it's nothing too big. I'm pretty sure it's just a woman, you know, puking at the side of the road, but just, you know, stay alert. So after that, Diane was driving, and and then she saw this sign that said do not enter. There's this exit off, it's like an exit off the highway that says do not enter. And so somehow the CCTV caught Diane's van veering into the do not enter lane. So that was very, very suspicious already, and she veered into that lane. And what happened was there were two lanes in the highway, one going this direction and one going the opposite direction. So when she entered the do not enter into this small lane, she came out of this exit where it led to the highway, where it went the opposite direction. So the cars were going this way, but Diane's van was going this way. So because of her van going this way and all the other cars going this way, all the other cars were trying to avoid her. It was like massive panic mode. It was very, very like dangerous because whole car was going, and it was like a minivan. It was like a big ass, like tall ass minivan. So everyone started freaking out, and a lot of people called 911. They were like, you better come now. There's this lady who's driving on the opposite side. Like, it's not supposed to be this way. And here's the thing, like, people said that when she was driving, it was literally a straight line. So it wasn't like someone who was under the influence or anything. It was under a straight line. So people were frantically panicking because it was a very dangerous situation. So how she was going this direction, it hit, like, people were massively like avoiding her, like people were making space for her, and like it was kind of fortunate that she was driving in a straight line, because it would have been harder for her to avoid her vehicle if she was swerving. And so everyone was kind of like in panic attack, and it hit this car, and that vehicle spun. Diane's vehicle spun, and then vehicle 1 was Diane with the kids, vehicle 2 was 3 80-year-old friends, and then the third vehicle spun. So it was vehicle 1 hit vehicle 2, spun, vehicle 2 spun and hit vehicle 3. So this concerned 3 different vehicles, and it was a major crime scene. It was the worst crime scene that ever happened, that anyone has ever seen. So after that, the police came, and I think Diane's vehicle was almost like caught on fire, but it was really damaged. Like, I'll insert pictures of it here, and they even have a whole documentary about how this whole accident happened on HBO. It's called There's Something Wrong with Aunt Diane. And so later in the toxicology reports, it showed that the blood alcohol level of Diane was 0.19%, which was equivalent to like someone who had 10 drinks. And so the husband had denied all of this because Diane is a very lightweight drinker. She doesn't even touch alcohol. Like, even the in-laws testified and said that Diane isn't a usual kind who would just like sip on alcohol and just be like an alcoholic who drinks a lot. So like, what they were very defensive against like her, like what kind of like, she wasn't an addict, she wouldn't even go near alcohol, which was what they were trying to say. And so this whole thing blew up, and then like there was a lot of news about the media, and there were a lot of theories about, like, there's a lot of theories on Reddit. If you guys want to read like the details about it and like what really happened, you guys should go on Reddit, or you guys can watch the documentary on HBO. And the theory was that Diane had been under the influence. She was like a heavy drinker, but it's just that no one knew. So like, do you guys have a family member which you think that might have an addiction for something, but you guys at the same time, your loved ones, don't know that you're having an addiction? Like, can people stay with you in the same house and not know that you're a smoker? And this is so weird, because I heard someone say that he has a friend who has a girlfriend, and they're like a couple for like 7 years or something, and then the girl doesn't know that the boyfriend has been smoking all this while, which is so weird. Like, how do you not know? Like, you could literally smell it. And so I'm literally here like, that is so dangerous. Imagine having like a loved one who is doing all sorts of like, I don't know, drinking, like drugs and all that behind your back, and you don't even know. That is very dangerous. Because I don't know, I feel like if I ever, I mean, just saying, okay guys, like mom and dad, don't freak out. If I ever like even tried to go near like cigarettes and whatnot, they would know. Like, I'm pretty sure my mom and all, they would actually know, because my mom's and my dad, they are pretty like alert on like these kind of things. So yeah, like imagine Diane being a very like heavy, like a very addict, and like still the family didn't know. Like, that was very weird. Because even alcohol, you could literally smell it. But then here's the thing, like the police didn't find any like signs of like liver damage, because if you're someone who drinks a lot of alcohol, you would find that your liver would be different from someone who doesn't drink. So they didn't find the signs of Diane's liver being you know, being that sort of type when someone drinks a lot. And also basically the casualties, the fatalities of the incident was 4 out of 5 kids died. So imagine the casualties, because Diane obviously passed away, and then along with 4 other children, so 3 of the sister's family of the husband, all 3 of the children died. And so Diane had 1 daughter and 1 boy. Ryan, the guy, had survived, and he was in critical condition, and obviously he was rushed to the ICU, and obviously he had to, you know, go to like all these therapy sessions, because obviously to know that the mom was the cause of the whole incident, there was a lot of trauma in him, and so he had to accept that. And yeah, it was just very, very horrible. And yeah, imagine losing like, okay, like you losing 1 kid already is very, very heartbreaking, but like, what about losing all 3 of your kids? Imagine that. So it was just a very, very horrid car accident. Like, imagine. Yeah, so that's why I'm very afraid of like car rides, which explains why I have car sickness. Like, tell me whether it's just me. I used to think that it was like a genetic thing, because apparently my mom's side, like my aunts, they have it too, but now I'm not sure. Like, it's just the people who are like really paranoid. Yeah, so that's all for today's story. They're actually done. I just need to add the chocolate chip, guys. So I can't show it to you, but wait, hold up. I'm satisfied because I made a very big batch today, and I just need to add the chocolate chips, and then I'll be done. While I'm literally waiting for these bad boys to cook in the air fryer, I'm going to snack on these healthy... No, it's not healthy. It's my guilty pleasure, these snacks, because My dad's colleague just bought them for us and it looks heavenly amazing. I'm gonna take this mango, looks really good, and the blueberry. I'm just gonna go for these two. Oh wait, maybe I should go for the strawberry. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the strawberry, gonna go with one of these mango, and yeah, I'll eat that while I'm waiting for these bad boys. The muffins are out and they're looking really nice, and it smells really good. And I felt like I should have put more bananas, but we only had one banana, so I put that in. But they're looking really nice, as usual. So I'm gonna enjoy this with my dinner over there, and this is for dessert. Yay! Okay, so guys, as you can see, it's very moist inside. And I know I just told you guys that I only put one banana, but literally doesn't taste like I put one banana in. It tastes like I put 3 bananas in. So I feel like it's because also of the vegetable oil that I put, and also a lot of like several factors. But I really like how this batch turned out, and rather than it tastes more healthy than the last one that I baked. So I think I'm gonna continue using this recipe.